And where is the Batman? He's at home, washing his tights.
What's up, ASG? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is our Mickey 17 review. First of all, I want to say it was made by the guy that made Parasite.
Oh, I didn't even clock that.
It really was like an original sci-fi movie.
Definitely.
It was funny. It was unapologetic, horny. All the things you want in like a, kind of like a, not a typical,
trippy. I definitely enjoyed it, and a lot of like the concepts were really cool. I think where it really just falls on its face a little bit is towards like the end, which we can get into more. But the pacing was just like, I don't know. It was starting to get to me towards the end, that last quarter. But
I think you were just tired.
Maybe. But before that, the whole buildup of this like cloning operation that's going on, which if you've seen any of the trailers, you guys know. I love all that background and like the little debates we get from the past on Earth. With all these people debating like, is it even right to do this and do that? So it was really cool, and it delved into some like human rights type of thing. Like, what would we really do with this tech?
And not really like too. They didn't dive in like too much into it. It was more of just like it gave us a splash of just, this is why we're here. It had little splashes of politics, and then at the end you started getting a little more like activisty and rebellious towards like he kept calling it the church, and then or the company that they're
it was like
whenever
he'd slip up, he'd say the church and be like, no, the company or something.
Because it was like a cult. It was basically just a cult that the reason why they're doing all this. I can see where you mean, like the lead up was kind of like disappointing towards the end, like it kind of just falls a little bit flat, then you're like, okay, are we gonna elaborate on this? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, you're expecting like this big old finale, and it's kind of just, returning, an eye for an eye type of thing. Which was okay. I honestly didn't hate the movie. I think it's a great beginning to end story. Because most of the times movies nowadays, you don't really get an original beginning to end story. You kind of get something where like the ending, you're like, you have so many questions. And I hate movies like that.
They feel like they're forced to like tease us to, maybe there might be another I don't think there's any of that here, thankfully.
No, it's full through story.
And it works as like a full through story. I think if they would have tried to like turn this into some crazy trilogy or whatever, would have been stupid.
And if we can dive into like the acting too. The acting, Robert Pattinson made Mickey a very enjoyable, laughable character.
Care about him.
He's a bunch of different personalities in it. Which is pretty cool. And he really kind of just lets his acting skill kind of fly in this movie. Mark Ruffalo, he was, he did a really good job. How like he played that political leader. Who I can tell he probably, now I'm not getting political here, but he gave off like, I'm trying to be like a Donald Trump type of vibe. They didn't want to say it, but I mean, he does give off like a extreme Donald Trump, esque character, political leader. I'm not saying like whatever all that shit means. But anyway, like he kind of gives off that vibe, very controlling. Mr. Wynn, or
Stephen Wynn.
He was kind of, I didn't understand that. Like, so Stephen Wynn's character, he's supposed to be like this friend of Mickey that was, whenever they were on Earth, they spoilers, sorry.
We're in spoilers now.
Yeah, we're in spoilers now. Started like a little business together, and he thought it was gonna blow up, but then they didn't really dabble in it too heavy.
Macaroons.
Or macaroons are gonna sell like burgers. I don't know. That one kind of like went over my head a little bit on why all that stuff kind of unfolded, why they were getting attacked. Stephen Wynn played a really kind of like, not necessarily like a friend of Mickey. And it was more of like a backstabby type of character, but like it was just the dynamic was more futuristic dynamic. Probably a lot of backstabby things to go on with the future, especially when you dabble in like cloning.
And I mean, he signs up to be an expendable, so it's like
Mickey does.
So they're all kind of assigned to these roles, and it seems like his role is to kind of watch over Mickey / if he's dead, dispose of him. Or whatever. That seems like his kind of role. But I couldn't really pinpoint exactly what he was meant to be?
Honestly, yeah, I couldn't really tell you what he was really meant to be.
I think they said he was like some type of flight.
Yeah.
Something. I think
he
Mickey
just
said
had,
that.
essentially, I think he just had a job. He got another position on the ship.
Yeah.
I get the dynamic and the aspect of everybody probably looks at you differently when you're an expendable because you don't really get to actually like. You die, but you have the thought and you get the respawn.
Yeah.
Like you're playing Call of Duty online in real life. Like I'm gonna die here, but I'm gonna just respawn. You know, it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know, just do this stuff. But I did think they took it to a whole new level where they were like experimenting like the viruses and stuff. Like
Yes, dude.
it was definitely pretty new stuff.
And
But-
another big relationship throughout all of his torturing and all that is Nasha, played by
Nasha.
Naomi Ackel. Hopefully we're saying that right.
Yeah. She did really good.
She was really good and has some like intense moments of acting, especially when the baby, they've captured this baby at one point in the movie, and she's like trying to save this baby.
Yeah, this freaking
And-
baby alien. Yeah, I kind of looked cute. I was like, I don't know whether to call this thing cute or butt fucking ugly. I don't know. It was very interesting.
Ruffalo and his wife definitely thought it was butt fucking ugly.
Yeah, that's the same lady from Hereditary.
Oh.
That's who I remember. That's what movie I remembered her from. I don't know why, but her like mannerisms, her facial expressions when she acts is just so like.
And was she kind of like running things behind the scenes? Cause like there's several moments where he'll kind of like go to her shoulder and whisper some stuff and be like,
She probably
hey,
is
what
like
am
more
I?
of the level-headed like shoulder that he needs to speak to, or like you know.
Like he doesn't
devil
really
on his
actually have
shoulder.
all the answers.
Yeah,
type
like
of
how
thing.
to keep it calm and collected, because because the way he's kind of like introduced is kind of like this leader who's like trying to like lead a group of people onto this 4-year expedition to habitat, or like
He's about
what's
to
it
pull an
called?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, take over like a certain planet with a species on it, or
Colonize
discover
it, or
yeah,
whatever
colonize
you
it
would call it.
basically.
Yeah.
They did get very activist-y at the end, which it really needed to be, because it is like a fucked up like situation based off of 2056.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like 30 years from now.
Right.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I thought for something like that it would be based off of like a longer time.
Like
in the
30
future.
something, 30, 60 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've
But
got
that's just a
human
little
printing
tiny,
and
yeah,
all
human
this.
printing seems to be way along the way, not 30 years from now.
Yeah, and just some of the
But what
tech
do I
they
know?
have
I don't know
that
what
they
got
build.
cooking up.
Yeah, we really don't. But some of the tech that they have too is just like the translator. That's not something we're making today or 30 years from now probably.
Yeah.
But that was a cool
and
scene.
the fucking space drugs.
Mhm.
The Stephen Wynn's character was selling the space drugs.
It's like
and shit.
Sue, or I don't
Oxy,
remember.
it was something like Oxy something.
Oxyzo or something, and it was
Space
like coming from
oxycodone or something.
the flamethrowers. Like it was like the flamethrower cartridges that they were
Right.
using
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
high.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thought that was insane.
So basically the big oh my fucking gosh moment about Mickey 17 is Mickey goes on an expedition, like a normal expedition, and he gets left behind, and then
Yeah.
the aliens find him, but he thinks they're gonna eat him, and whenever he dies, he gets printed again. So they kind of just leave him because he thinks, oh, he's expendable, he's just gonna die, and with the species, it's okay. So the species comes and gets him, and he's like thinking they're gonna eat him alive,
Yeah.
and then he'll just be printed. But then he doesn't get eaten. He gets saved
Yes.
by the aliens.
Uh-huh.
Or I say aliens, but there's a quote in the movie. It's like you keep calling them aliens. We're the aliens. They're the actual species that were there first. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was really cool too. But anyway, he gets taken by this species and he gets saved by the species. Shit kind of just starts to unfold after that. He sneaks back into the thing thinking everything's fine. He doesn't
Right.
really understand why the time is different. He doesn't understand. Then he goes back to bed and he finds another version of himself in his bed, and it's like a totally different personality of guy.
Yeah.
Which all the Mickeys have had different personalities to develop.
Yes.
And this one had developed like, a rage
Cynical,
for like,
yeah.
cynical rage for the kind of just everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of starts to unfold after that, and then there's this space rule that involves you can't have any duplicates, which started on Earth, or else you have to get permanently killed.
Because there was one of the inventors of like the,
that was really cool too.
Yeah,
they did
of
dive
the
into that.
machine. He had duplicated himself, and his duplicate was like going out and murdering these people.
Yeah.
These homeless people.
Yeah.
As he was like.
Well explained.
Partying out.
That was well explained too. Like if anything wasn't explained in this movie, that was explained well why that's illegal, because you didn't know if it was a single man's crime or if it was like an individual.
How do you
crime.
charge them?
Yeah, how do you charge them?
Ration
So then
food?
they kind of just made it to where like Kenneth Marshall was like, if it's not on Earth, we'll do it in space, and we'll make sure that we apply this rule.
Any duplicates, like the memory brick that they have, gone, and
gone.
no more reprinting.
They kind of just formed this thing where they're trying to, or the Mickey 18's trying to cause some trouble. He's trying
He wants to kill Kenneth Marshall. Yeah, he literally wants to kill him
Yep.
at this like, I don't even know, show.
Like a night show.
Yeah, it's like some TV show show host, which was, I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But he shows up, tries to shoot him. He ends up shooting the space rock that they had just brought, and that opens up this just can of worms where a bunch of these
the creepers, they call them creepers.
Stealing shit from Minecraft.
Wow.
But all these creepers come out and
so
start
funny. The
attacking.
Minecraft movie's about to come out, and they are saying calling them creepers. Okay. Okay,
Wonder where you got that from.
Yeah. Very, very original, guys.
Going everywhere. I thought Kenneth Marshall was gonna like start getting infected or something, because one latches onto his face for a minute, but we don't really get any of that.
Yeah. We kind of even find out that the species is like intelligent.
Yeah.
Is very intelligent.
They have a conversation with each other, and that's where they kind of get the idea to make the translator that ends
and
up
they're just
saving
banging.
the day.
It's funny because they're just shout out to the scientists. If we had scientists that were in this movie, we would be the most advanced society in the world, because they are just banging out like
anything.
Experiments, vaccines for viruses they haven't even like.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's basically that's the Mickey's goal. I think I don't know if I got my words right, but that's basically the goal of like the Expendable, is to get all this research quick and like figure out what new inventions can we pull of like human.
What's gonna
evolution
end up
stuff.
killing them ultimately? So they first land there and they're like, okay, they send them out there and like breathe in, like, oh, just imagine you're sucking in all these viruses.
And then the next cut is him just puking up blood.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool. Funny.
If now that we are into spoilers, I will talk about why like the last quarter was just kind of
Go for it.
just because we get to the final showdown with them and Kenneth Marshall, and they send Mickey out there to cut off the tails. This was something I also really didn't understand. They didn't really explain. Cut off the tails because his wife wants to make some crazy sauce.
Yeah.
They never really talk about like what their obsession is with sauces, or why she's like trying to develop it, or
they're
what.
trying to. I can answer that.
Okay.
So they were trying to develop they were trying to get away from artificial food. So they were trying to come up with like sauces.
Can we eat from these?
Can we eat from these?
Yeah. Okay.
So they were trying to invent because really their food supply was very limited.
Yeah.
And so you could only eat like certain like proteins
And it looked like
and calories.
Shit. It looked like shit.
Yeah. So you could only eat like certain calories and shit, and they explain it like if you go out on an expedition, it's like 100 calories. You need to make sure you eat this much stuff to make sure you can retain your energy.
But they keep freaking slicing in half Mickey's rations.
Yeah. How is this guy still alive?
Literally. But anyway, back to so they send him out there to cut the tails, get the sauce or whatever, and it's a really big standoff for a while. He has the translator moment with the creature, and then Kenneth Marshall comes out to give a final speech to all the creatures before he kills them all.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was kind of fun or whatever. But then Mickey 18,
because he essentially wants to capture on camera to be like, make it like put it in the history books or like the old film.
He wants to be
recaps.
Bringing in the new age and
Yeah.
That's everything he's about. His little assistant is all over that too.
Yeah.
He was annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
He was awesome. But Mickey 18,
he was annoying, but he was awesome.
He was awesome because
he was awesome at being annoying.
Like, that was definitely his role. He was supposed to be. But Mickey 18 comes up and ends up blowing himself and Kenneth up. The wife is pissed, and then it kind of just abruptly ends. We go to the like ceremony where they're destroying the cloning machine.
Yeah.
And then we snap into this like vision that we do not know is a vision with him, with Mickey and the wife, and she's like printing. I was like, oh my, where? And that lasted for like a good 15 minutes, and then we're just back at the end.
It wasn't that long.
Maybe it wasn't,
It wasn't that long. It was like 2 minutes.
It just really took me out. I was like, what is going on? And then we get back to the ceremony. He blows it up. And then we kind of have our final hurrah. Yeah, it just felt like they just kind of started throwing some stuff and just seeing, this might work, this might work, this might work. So I felt like some of the vision was lost about halfway through, but...
Well, I mean, I think the vision was on that last moment, Mickey 17 realized, he kind of learned from Mickey 18 to not just be such a pushover. And that's the main goal. Not the main goal, but the main like development of why we were here. This should be here's the reason why we should be here, because all of this has happened. So Mickey 17 has to have some character changes to where he understands how Mickey 18 thought, and they're all the same person, because he talked about, I wish all the Mickeys could have lived on like this and got their lives, but I have to I'm done apologizing. I'm done remembering it, so I'm gonna be the last Mickey, and I'm gonna learn from all the Mickeys and solidify.
Be the best Mickey Barnes.
Yeah.
No more Mickey 17, Mickey Barnes now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a lot of back and forth in the end that kind of made me feel like, okay, well, are we getting there? Are we not getting there?
I didn't.
But
feel
other
like
than that, I did really enjoy it. You want to give ratings?
Yeah, I'll give my rating. I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I think that's fair. 7.5 probably for me. 7, just because some of the areas didn't keep my interest all the way. But like you said, really funny, really just intense in some moments, and yeah, it was a good story, original story. So yeah, 7.5, 8, I think is right on there.
Well, there it is, ASG. There is our Mickey 17 review. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought about Mickey 17. This percentage of you have not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Also, as you guys know, when you subscribe to Another Strong Geek, you are not only strong physically, you are strong in the mind, body, and spirit, and all of the above. You guys got this. Always stand your ground. Be epic. Be original. Be creative. Go out there and attack the world. All right, ASG. Peace.